By the time that you're watching this, what's been described as the storm of the century is either about to hit the coast of Florida or it's already too late. Because Hurricane Milton is projected to make landfall late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning, by which time it's expected to have doubled in size. With winds, as I'm recording, hitting 160 miles per hour and forecasters predicting storm surges of between 10 and 15 feet. Though this is by the time that it makes landfall, they say that it'll likely downgrade to a Category 4 with winds of around 130 miles per hour, which to be clear is still fucking insane. And that's just the hurricane. You have meteorologists warning that Milton could also bring several tornadoes from scattered thunderstorms that may be triggered across central and southern Florida. And so as of right now, you've got some 50 counties under an official state of emergency, as well as 11 counties home to nearly 6 million people under mandatory evacuation orders, which is why over the past few days, we've seen one of the largest evacuations in the state's history. I mean, you just look out there. It's one side of the interstate completely empty, the other completely clogged up. But this also is it's impossible to know exactly how many residents have left, and we know from anecdotal accounts that some are hunkering down. Manatee County Jail, for example, which holds around 1,200 inmates in a mandatory evacuation zone, reportedly not evacuated, with them instead stocking up on supplies and sandbags and simply planning to move inmates to the top floor of the 2-story building if it floods. So if they get 15 feet of water, I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. Also with this, right, you have people who either won't leave or can't leave because they simply have nowhere to go. Like with residents of certain mobile home parks that were just battered 2 weeks ago by Hurricane Helene. Right in there, you had one disabled veteran telling NBC that he and his wife have been sleeping in their car since Helene wrecked their mobile home, saying, "Right now, I'm homeless and scared to death. I'm worried about getting on my feet. I just want a home. I don't care what kind of home." With them also adding there, along with other tenants, that the trailer park's owner is still making them pay the $750 monthly plot rental fee, even though their homes are now uninhabitable. So this also is the company denied that when asked. Also, in addition to that, there have been a few less sympathetic individuals who totally could have left and definitely should have, but strangely haven't. Like, for example, Caroline Calloway, who's been dubbed the world's worst influencer. Though that, for reasons outside of this, right? Reportedly, she defrauded hundreds of fans out of creative workshops that never happened, spent a 6-figure advance for a book deal that never materialized, and sold her own skincare line named Snake Oil. But now it appears that she's staying put, even though she lives on the water in a mandatory evacuation zone and flatly stating on Instagram, "I'm going to die."
It's Zone A, mandatory evacuation. Listen, I didn't evacuate. I can't drive, first of all. Second of all, the airport is closed. Third of all, the last time I evacuated for a hurricane, I went to my mom's house in Northport. Her whole street flooded and we were evacuated after 3 days without power and food or running water by the US military. It was very traumatic.
But regardless, the next 24 hours are gonna be horrifying. It is very expected that a number of people are gonna die from this. Right now, if you're in the danger zone, you're pretty much on your own, with officials saying they're not coming for you until the storm's over. And actually, speaking of which, Governor DeSantis has hundreds of search and rescue personnel are ready to jump into action as soon as Milton passes. Also, if you feel compelled to help, you can donate to a number of charities. But this, also as the National Center for Disaster Fraud, is warning people to watch out for scammers posing as charities for these hurricanes. So if you're thinking about it, just remember these things. Ignore unsolicited communications, don't click on links from unknown sources, and be suspicious of anyone using high-pressure tactics to get you to donate. And also, always donate directly to an organization rather than through some intermediary, and go directly to their website rather than clicking through links. But yeah, with all that said, for now, we're gonna have to wait to see what the next 24 hours has in store for Florida. And to you and yours that are gonna be impacted by this, you are in our thoughts. Good luck. Be safe.